Hey everybody, welcome to Sideways, presented by Rockwell, Arc Levers, Rockform, Nihilo Concepts, Pro Circuit, and today's special sponsor, Toyota of Redlands. And it's fitting because the rider we have rides for the Bar X Yamaha Toyota of Redlands team. Parker Ross, welcome, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I want to apologize publicly. I screwed up the dates. You showed up here yesterday, and we missed. So I'm glad you don't live too far away. I felt bad about that. So thanks for being understanding. I got a little screwed up. Got too many balls in the air.
Yeah, no worries. I was luckily I was close. I got to meet your wife, which is cool, and she was like, he's not here today." And I was like, "Well, he told me tomorrow on Monday."
Yeah.
But he also texted me on Sunday, and I guess I should have. He texted me Wednesday on Sunday, and I should have been like, "Hey, do you mean Wednesday when you say tomorrow?" But I just kind of slipped my mind.
My wife said, she's like, "Oh, you really blew it." She goes, "He looked all nice. He had his hair done. He was in a collared shirt." I'm like, "Oh man." So anyway, good to have you on, dude. You had a great season.
Yeah, it was good.
I've been kind of following you since your first year with SLR Honda and watching your progress. You just always seem like a really cool kid to me. Really easygoing, friendly to people, and I like that. I mean, it's cool to see guys that are amazing racers, but I like guys that are good dudes, and that's what you seem like to me. And if both things happen at once, that's even better. So I'm excited to kind of see where you go. So I want to start by just recapping a little bit of the season. You obviously changed bikes at the beginning of the year. You're getting used to Supercross. Like, there's a lot of things you had to learn this year. So kind of break it down. Take me through the whole season, how it was for you.
Yeah, it was good. I had a really good Supercross season. I had a really good opportunity with SLR to, race, pursue my dream. And Mark was like, he even told me, he was like, "Hey, we could go do off-road, and you could be making some good money, or we could do this shot at Supercross." And he said it's gonna be a lot harder on his end, on my end, on Supercross. And I was like, dude, I already put in so much work to get to just this point. Like, it feels a little silly just to be like, I'm not going to do Supercross anymore. Let's just do off-road. And I always feel like I could probably fall back on off-road because I've done a couple off-road races. And I was like, let's just see where this goes this year. And we had a 4-race deal where it was like, hey, Mark was like, we'll do the first 4 races. And if you don't get a top 10, then we'll see about maybe doing the rest of them. If you get a top 10, we'll do the rest of them. So that was pretty cool. And luckily, the last round at Glendale, the last out of the 4 races, the last one, I got a 9th. So that was cool. And it was like, well, shoot, now we got to do the rest of them. But I think I surprised them a little bit and myself. And it was just cool, at least for me, seeing how easy the transition was for me, at least going pro. Like, the weird thing is when you're an amateur, you're always trained to be like a pro, but they're almost totally different, right? The motos are shorter. It's more of a sprint. Where I feel like in pros, it's more of like a little bit more of an endurance race than amateurs. And I've always struggled with the sprinting at the beginning, even though my trainer is like, dude, on the cycles, he's like, you're a sprinter. Like, your body, like
Fast
everything
twitch.
about you. Yeah, everything about you is a sprinter. And then you get on the dirt bike and somehow he's like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Somehow everything switches and you go to endurance mode. And he's like, it's beyond me, and that's something we're going to work on a little bit this off season. But so the transition was good, and I had a good start at A1. I was in the top 10, and then I got my first taste of being a pro and got cleaned out in the first lap. Left the door open a little bit too much and just got obliterated on the first lap.
Who did it?
It was Josh Ruiz.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was a on-off before the finish line. It was a 90, and he went on-off, and the main line was quadding it. And I quadded to the inside, and maybe, I on my end, I don't feel like it was dirty, but I think on his end, he was like, oh, this rookie coming up, stuffing me in this 90, like, he's not going to have that. And then it was a right-hander 180 into whoops. And in my head, I was like, nobody's going to run it in on me. Even if they run it in on me in this turn, I'll have enough speed coming through this turn because I'm going wide that I can pass him back in the whoops. Well, there wasn't any room for me to do that because he just came in and just
took it all the space.
Well, and he also took us both out, which I was like, dude, come on. But at the same time, I was like, well, I left the door open, so you can't be doing that. And then the next couple races, I was definitely tighter in those turns in the first couple laps.
And those are tricky situations. If you would have gone inside, he would have probably switched to the outside. Then you have no momentum for the whoops, and he passes you back, right? So that's racecraft. That's one of those things like you just are going to learn over time. And, if you do go wide, you need to be very aware of what he's doing, right? That way you can check up and cut under. That just comes with time. So, how was the transition to Supercross? Had you done much before? You did some SMX Next rounds the year before?
Yeah. So I did 2 years at SMX Next, which was really nice. Just kind of getting the feel of the stadium. Like, it's different going to the stadiums and those tracks and everything, and the adrenaline just sitting on the line. I mean, you're sitting on the line at A2 and you're looking at all the freaking people in the stands and you're like, holy, this is about to go down. And just the crowd plays so much of a factor when you're riding. Like, you hear like something's going on and there's like the crowd is like going crazy and you're just riding and you're doing your thing and you're like, man, I wonder what's going on. Like,
what's going on out there?
Yeah,
I know.
I'm like, I don't think I got sketchy, but yeah, it was definitely a learning curve. I stayed with the Vineys for about a year and a half, which was nice. They have a Supercross track in their backyard, and super appreciative of them. I was able to ride their Supercross track, kind of learn a little bit. I trained with Rhino, so he helped me a little bit more. And then I was lucky enough to be able to, Mark pulled some strings, and I was able to get on the Honda test track. And I just honestly rode Supercross so much for like 2 years. For the first year of riding Supercross, I rode Supercross 3 years before going pro. So I did, the first year was just kind of like messing around a little bit, getting my feet wet. Next year, it was like, okay, we're going to hammer Supercross. We rode Supercross a lot. And then I was good, but I struggled at the races. It's hard to go from you have good practice flow, the tracks, and you go to the races, it's totally different. And then the second year of actually racing Supercross, I feel like I kind of got my feet under me and I was able to be like a little bit more of myself while racing, and I just rode Supercross a lot. And then the off season before going pro, I didn't even have an off season. I like rode every day. I was riding Supercross. Luckily, we had our own. No, we didn't this year. But I was able to go out to the Honda test track a lot, and Lars Lindstrom showed me how to water it and everything. So I'd literally go out there, and I'd texting Joe or Ben Griffith, his mechanic, and I'd be like, hey, you guys riding today? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay, I'll come out and help you water. Helped him water, and I'd go out there, or if they weren't riding, I'd text one of my friends to see if they could come with me, because SLR was kind of short-staffed, so they didn't have like a mechanic or anything to go with me like every day. So it was kind of tricky because I had to find someone to go with me, and it was like I didn't want like just a random guy, so it's someone I was comfortable with. And you can't go ride Supercross by yourself. It's just that's scary.
Yeah.
So I at least wanted someone there, and a lot of times I would just have my girlfriend there or one of my friends, and a couple of times some of the team would come out, and it was honestly, it was a grind before this A1. I would go out, say if I was riding Tuesday, I'd go out at 6 on Monday, 6 p.m., and I'd go water the track, drive home, and then drive to the track that next morning at 8, ride, and then come home. And if I was riding the next day on Wednesday, I'd come home, wash my bike, and then make some food or something, and then I'd go water the track again for the next day, and then do it all over again. I was like, dude, this is a lot of work. But I was like, in my head, I was like, I need to be doing this. I need to be riding Supercross. This is what these guys are doing. Even if it's hard, I need to do it. And I'm definitely appreciative of the opportunities that SLR gave me. And even Lars letting me go out and ride Supercross. They don't really let that many people out there.
That's pretty cool of them to do that,
Yeah, so that was super nice. And, it was just...
And Mark's a great dude. I always am rooting for him to succeed in whatever they're doing. And I love that he's dabbling in some Supercross and moto. I know it's not their primary thing, but I love seeing him doing it. Tell me about your transition into the Bar X team. How'd that happen?
It was weird. I rode Supercross. I was coming home. I washed my bike, and I just got a text from one of the owners, Paul Smith, and he was like, do you want to ride for us? And I was like, well, I kind of need a little bit more.
Who is this?
Yeah. Well, I already knew who he was because I'm friends with Myron, and I already had his number previously, and he texted me, and I was like, well, I kind of need a little bit more like context than that. And he was, well, it'll be for outdoors. And SLR wasn't able to do all the outdoor rounds, and it was kind of like If SLR could have done all the outdoor rounds, I would have liked to stay with them just out of a like a respect thing, because they've done so much for me. But they weren't really doing all the outdoors, and it was kind of iffy if I would do like a couple of 250 rounds and then maybe travel around with Billy and race the 450 class. And Bar X was just more of a solid deal, so it was kind of like a no-brainer. Like I had to take it.
Yeah.
And then, I raced Denver. That was my last Supercross round. I didn't do Salt Lake just so I could have a little bit more time on the bike, because if I raced Salt Lake, it would be like, man, a week on the bike, and then you go race outdoors. So I got like 2 or 3 weeks on the bike, which is nice. And
how was that jump? How was the Yamaha when you got on it?
It was easy because I was doing Supercross on the Honda, and then I didn't ride moto since what was it, Ironman? Like,
so it'd been
the
a while.
year before. So it's been a while. So I didn't really know what motocross would feel like. So it was honestly pretty easy. The first day I went on the bike, we went to We1. Have you been to that track?
I haven't been there. I was seeing
it. It's like that little tight turn track.
Yeah. Technical.
Yeah. And that's like kind of my style. And I was riding the bike, super low RPM, like a Honda and everything. And Bradley pulls me off. He's the team manager and also the coach. And he pulls me off and he's like, dude, why are you riding the bike like this? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, you haven't touched the rev limiter once. Like, you need to open this thing up. He's like, you're riding like an idiot. I was like, I don't know. This is how I know how to ride. And then I went out there and I was banging it out the rev limiter. I was like, dude, I feel nervous. Like, this is like a brand new bike. I don't want to like hurt it or anything. And they're like, yeah, you could still go a little bit higher in the RPMs. I'm like, really? So it definitely was a big switch for me to going from the Honda is so like torquey and low RPM, and then the Yamaha is just, I mean, you're off the rev limiter everywhere. If you're not wide open, like, I know people make fun of like the Star guys or Hayden, like they're always wide open, but it's just kind of how you have to ride the Yamaha. It's just kind of how it is. So it was a little bit tricky for me because I'm like maybe like a conservative rider. Like I like to ride in the low RPMs. I don't like the bike moving around a lot. So it definitely was like a bit of a transition to get comfortable of like opening the bike up and letting second run out and then using third a little bit longer, like.
Yeah.
Where the Honda, you're always short shifting, so it was definitely a little bit tricky.
It's good to have that skill set under you, though, because especially when you transition to a 450, that's the style you're going to want. You know, you want low RPMs. Doesn't work on a 250 because you don't have the torque. You got to rev it a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's good that you've got that. So how was the summer? I mean, give me an overall impression of how you thought it went.
Yeah, summer was awesome. We had the first round, I actually kind of surprised myself. I think I went 16-12, which was super awesome. And I was like, dang, the whole team was like, whoa, dude, you just got a 12th. And I was like, yeah, I was shooting for top 20, honestly. I didn't know how I was going to go. And then Hangtown was rough just because I didn't qualify straight into the motos. I had a little bit of a problem in second qualifying. And I didn't lay down a great lap, which is my home track. I was like, dude, I should be good here.
Oh, you're from up north?
Yeah, I'm from NorCal.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I live 15 minutes from Hangtown.
Okay.
So I was like, dude, I was all confident going in, qualified terrible in first qualifying. I was like 40th.
Well, you said you're kind of, when you get on the track, you're a little more of a diesel kind of endurance guy. So does that mean sprint laps are tough for you?
Yeah, I struggle with sprint laps a lot. Even in the practice days, Dylan's going so fast in practice. I'll be like 2 seconds off Dylan and sprint laps. I'm like, dude, what is going on? And then we'll do motos and I'll be able to hang with them. So it's like there was something I kind of built it on all outdoors trying to get the qualifying, but at Hangtown the second round I'm still kind of getting used to the bike. I have a hard time like pushing my limits just off one lap. Like I feel like I'm conservative, so I don't want to crash. I don't want to do all this stuff, and it kind of bites me in the butt sometimes. Like Hangtown didn't qualify, had to go to the LCQ. Won the LCQ, and I was like, okay, first moto, I want to say I got like 16th, and I was like, okay. But I came from the back just because, I was all the way outside. Yeah, it's nothing I really could have done. Second moto, I had a better gate pick, got a better start. I think I started like 12th, and then moved my way up into 10th, and going from the LCQ to 10th, that second moto was awesome. And then the next couple rounds, we just had it was a lot of my fault not knowing how to ride the bike. I think I was trying to override the bike, and we had a couple DNFs. I DNF'd 2 rounds in a row, which was a little bit frustrating, just like knowing how hard the team's working and how hard I was working too to be better. And then having those DNFs, I was like pretty gutted. And it was nice we had a break after whatever the 4th round was. We had a little bit of a break. We had a weekend off.
High Point, did it go?
Yeah, High Point, and then we had a break. And I was like, okay, we're going to do, or Bradley was like, hey, we're going to do no back brake motos, no clutch motos. And we went out to we went out to behind Elsinore, that sand track behind there. Dusty, 100-degree heat out, and I'm doing no back brake, no clutch, but it was honestly nice because I never really had that being able to learn the bike because it was such like a
rush.
We were like straight, literally first day on the bike, we're doing sprint laps and motos and stuff. I never really got to hey, let's work on this, let's do that. I didn't really have that opportunity. So I got to have that opportunity, and I was like, whoa, this is nice. Kind of able to flow on the bike. It was honestly a lot easier on me because I wasn't forcing the bike to do a lot of things. I was working with it. And that really showed with the next round with Southwick. And then Southwick, I think I went 13 or 14-10 for 14th overall, which was super good. And then the next round, I want to say was Redbud. Was it Redbud after that?
I'd have to go back.
It's so hard. Yeah. Well, I want to say the next round was Redbud, and then I ended up going 10-11 for 10, or 10-11 for 8th overall. And then the team was like, see, we had to do some no back brake motos, and then the score's starting to get better. And
sometimes those little drills, just figure eights and standing motos, like I have guys stand, the whole track or run all insides. Just those little dumb drills, you gel with the bike and you kind of get to learn it, and it's so much a part of you and the bike becoming one. I know that sounds super new agey, but when you're just that comfortable on it, then you can just focus on what you're doing. You don't ever feel like you're fighting it. Yeah. So it seems like you didn't have time before the first round, so that was good for you. What was your best finish all summer?
Redbud was my best finish. So I had 11-10 for 8th overall, and then I had a 7th at Ironman in the second moto, which was super cool. It was a little bit surreal because I was passing guys, and I was like, oh my god, I'm catching Seth Hamaker, this is awesome. And then I passed him, I was like, dude, I just passed Seth Hamaker. And then it was I'm passing these guys that I've looked up to, and I'm and it was a little bit of I don't know if you've had one of these motos where it's I felt like I was floating around the track. It didn't really feel like I wasn't working that hard. It was almost
you're in the zone.
I was in the zone, and everything was just working, and it didn't even feel like I was trying. I was just floating around the track, and I don't know. It was awesome. I literally got off the track, and I wasn't even tired. I literally had a full conversation with my mechanic.
They call that the flow state. Yeah. Where it's just happening. Mm-hmm. You're just relying on instincts you've got. It doesn't even feel like you're trying. A couple of the races I've won that was like that. I'm like, man, how do I duplicate that? How do I do it again? Then that's the hard part. Yeah. The guys that are the Ryan Dungies and Villapotos and, Rickies, they can do it week after week after week. That's the hard part. Mm-hmm. So you got a taste of it though. So that's rad. And dude, 7th in that 250 class is it's legit. Yeah. It was super cool. Is a stacked class, I think Star has 7 guys. So that's great, man. It was a good summer. Like I said, I kept watching you, and then Dylan, especially later in the summer, man, he came on. Yeah. So you guys were having some really good finishes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool being able to kind of watch him and see what he's doing during the practice days. I haven't really had that before, being able to kind of ride with a faster dude like that and train with him. And it's super cool being able to battle during the practice days. Even Cole Timbo, he's going so fast. A lot of days he's faster than all of us on the practice track, which is insane. And he's so good, and he has such good flow, and just being able to ride with those guys is such a privilege, I feel like. And seeing him do good, it gives me a little bit of encouragement, being man, he just got 4th, and I'm just right there with in the practice days and everything. Yeah. So it gives me a little bit of encouragement, and it's definitely awesome.
And those are the steps you'll take, dude. You'll get a whole shot one time, and you'll crap your pants first, but then someone will come by you, and you'll be in second, and you'll run second for a while, and then maybe another guy or two passes you, and you'll run top 5, and you're like, oh, yeah. It's not like some crazy pace that you can't do. Yeah. And you just got to you got to see it, and then you'll be convinced that oh, I can do this. Yeah. Right now, you can run 7th. You get a whole shot, dude, and it's going to be another step for you, or even just top 3, and you'll sit on their wheel for a while and go, oh. Yeah, this isn't crazy. I mean, I remember my first year, 94, I got a good start. I think it was at Troy, Ohio, and I like Emig and Doug Henry, guys that I had looked up to forever, and I'm like sitting there right with them. I'm like, are they going? Are they gonna like go faster? Are they gonna take off? Or I'm doing it. It's a really cool feeling. Anyway, I understand exactly what you're saying. It's great. I think you guys have maybe one of the coolest teams in the pit. I don't know Dylan super well. He's like the one guy I don't really know that well.
Nobody does.
Really?
Yeah, it's just Dylan.
He just like off on his own.
Yeah, he's I don't want to say shy. He's just like reserved around a lot of people. Like it took me almost halfway through the summer for him to like even not talk to me, but like really joke and stuff. And he's just like that's just how he is. Like nobody really knows him that well besides like his people. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't feel so bad then.
Yeah, don't take it personal.
But like yourself, Cole is like that's the nicest family I've ever met. And now you guys. Lux is coming on the team, right? I don't know if they've announced that yet, but and he's a great dude. So I don't know, man. You guys in between Myron and Paul, it's just a nice group of guys, So I got to be stoked coming back. You're comfortable with the bike. The bike didn't have any big changes. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about this off season. He said, I laughed because when you came in, you go, I just been taking my week off, and then I'm going to get back to it, and I'm like. 1 week off, it's crazy. So what is your plan for kind of preseason? You got any races overseas planned or anything local?
I had a couple offers go overseas, but just being on a new team and everything and then racing all year, I was like, man, it would Vegas, I was more excited. I was excited to race, but I was more excited to have like a break and be able to just focus on like my fitness and be able to get my fitness super good because I feel like I have like a secret weapon in my back pocket with having Tom Danielson as my trainer off the bike. And I'm really excited to do this next month of just training and being able to go to the gym. And it's hard during the season or even when you're racing to be like, okay, I'll go to the gym, but we don't want to go to the gym too hard because you don't want to you want to be your best when you're on the dirt bike. And if you're not on the best on the dirt bike, that just then there's no point of being on the dirt bike, right? So you always have to be a little bit reserved with your training. Which is kind of frustrating, right? Because I want to be able to hammer the cycle. I want to be able to hammer the gym and do all this stuff. But it's like, well, you have to be reserved for the dirt bike. You don't want to go too hard. So I'm excited to do this month of just hammering and see how good I can get just because I know how good Tom can get me. So, I'm excited with that. I had a week off, and I thought I had 2 weeks off. But I looked at my Training Peaks what Tom puts on my schedule in, and it said like gym workout, and this is like 12 p.m. and I was like, dude, no way. I was like, I thought we had 2 weeks off, and then I texted him, and he was like, yeah, I was thinking we could start a little bit earlier. And I was like, oh, dude.
Did you do anything fun on your week off?
I don't know. We didn't really do. I tried not doing a lot because you're always doing so much. So I drove home the Toyota Redlands truck from Vegas. Well, I drove it there and back, and then Paul was like, hey, do you think you can come drop the Redlands truck off on Wednesday? I was like, yeah, sure. He was like, I got a couple of trucks. Do you want to look at some? I was like, so in my contract, I get a 2-year lease. But that doesn't start in November. And so I was like, oh yeah, I can come look. And then he was like, okay, which ones do you want? And I was like, well, I don't really know. Like, that doesn't start till November. He's like, we can do it now. So I ended up getting it pretty cool. I got a new truck this week, and I picked it up on Friday, which was cool. And I haven't really been doing too much. I've just been trying to relax, and I went golfing. I've been doing a lot of fishing. My roommate, he's actually my old mechanic, Cameron. Okay. At SLR, he's been getting into fishing too, and I've always been like, I love fishing. So I was like, hey, let's go to Diamond Valley. And we'll they have like bass boats you can rent there, and we rented a boat, and we spent 11 hours out there just fishing all day.
Did you catch anything?
Yeah, I caught probably like 11, nothing big. Yeah, but it was fun, and I haven't really done too much, to be honest.
Well, good. I mean, that's great. So going into 26, like I said, I think you have like a great kind of lining up of things. The bike isn't going to really change much, right? The Yamaha's kind of the same, pretty much the same team. You're adding one guy, but like you're going to have a good off season coming in. Yeah. What are the things after having done a full Supercross season now? Like, what are you going to focus on? What things do you need to work on to be better for 26?
I just need to focus on being more aggressive. I think at least on Supercross, being a little bit more aggressive and working on my sprint laps, obviously. And, yeah, just showing up to the races more confident. I feel like I have a hard time doing that. And I'm excited to be able to, like, really have a testing on Supercross, which it was hard going to SMX because I didn't have – I mean, you had a week of Supercross, and it's like, all right, we're going racing again. And I'm like, dude, I need, like – I wasn't too comfortable on the bike, and I was just fighting it until we got it a little bit better, or we got it a lot better at Vegas, which showed a lot. I think I went 20, 18, 18, and then at Vegas I went 14, 8 or 14, 14, 10 I think I went at Vegas. So big step in the right direction, and that was just all comfort. Like every time I got off the track, I was like, I'm so uncomfortable, guys. And the team was like, I'm so appreciative of the team. They're like so patient with me, and they were like, yeah, I mean, they were like, we could see it too. Like, you just look uncomfortable, and that was frustrating too, just because I feel bad for myself. I almost feel bad for the team more because they're busting their butts, and my mechanic McCullen's busting his butt, and it like destroys me when I'm doing that, and I know how hard they're working, and they can't do anything about it. It's like all on me, so it's like frustrating for me, and I felt so bad for them. So
I get it. A lot of times you feel more guilty about the team personnel than yourself.
Yeah,
I totally get it, man.
Which was super. They were super. What's the word? They were super patient with me, which I'm like super appreciative of.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would say you're kind of living the dream. You've got factory support ride.
Yep.
Your girlfriend is a racer too, and I'm not going to bust you like Jeff does with her. She's awesome, but like you have this girlfriend that rides, trains, and I mean she goes fast, so like you guys can go do the same stuff. Is that, are you like pretty stoked on where you're at right now with everything?
Yeah, it feels like I'm living a dream, honestly. Like, super good season. It's like I'm living like everything I've wanted. So it feels a little bit surreal just with having the girlfriend that's, perfect. She's, we train together. We do everything together. We're on pretty much the same program. She comes to most of my races, and then I try to go to her races. And then even last Thursday, I went to the practice track with her and pit boarded for her because she didn't have anybody. So we just have a super cool dynamic. And the team, the team's just awesome. Even just the vibes under the tent. Like, I don't know how it is under like the factory teams or just, everybody's having a good time, and nobody's negative, and nobody's like grumpy or anything. Like, everybody under our tent is just having a good time, and it honestly, like,
that's not normal.
Yeah,
that's why I tell you guys have something special with that team,
and it makes like, I don't know, it just makes everything so much easier. It makes me like want to go to the races. I'm like, man, we're having such a good time at the races, and we even go hang out after the race, and we're all like friends. So it's just a super cool dynamic, and living in SoCal is awesome too. I don't have a lot of things to complain about, honestly.
Well, good. Yeah. Maybe some better fishing spots.
Yeah, some better fishing spots. That's the only thing, I think.
Yeah. I see these like weird little reservoirs on the side of the freeway, and it's lined with people fishing. Yeah. Like there's one in I think kind of Anaheim area. Lined with people fishing. I'm like, it's a little concrete mucky pond. Yeah. How can that be fun? But that's all we got around here. Yeah. Okay, we're going to get into some weird stuff a little later. Different questions. Let's say you had a time machine out in your garage. You could go anywhere at any time. Where would you go and when?
A time machine?
Yeah, you could go to the future, back to the past, anytime.
I don't know. It's a weird question.
Super weird.
I don't know. I don't really want to go anywhere else.
You're pretty happy right now?
I'm happy where I am.
All right, leave it parked. Yeah. What about your favorite movies? Movies, TV shows, and music?
Okay, so I'm super bad at just remembering movies. Like, Michaela and I will watch a movie, and she'll, like, reference the movie the other day, and I'll just be lost. Like, the next day, I'll forget about it. Yeah, I'll watch a movie, and I'll forget about it in the next 15 minutes. Yeah. But shows, I think my favorite show that I've watched is probably like Suits.
Okay.
It's pretty good. I like the like the law and criminal and all that like kind of shows.
Do you get into all the murder ones? Like my wife's into those. I come in and I'm like, are you planning to kill me? Like she watches all of them where, you know, these murderers get caught or whatever, serial killers.
Yeah.
You're into that stuff?
I try not to watch like the real ones. Those ones are a little bit gnarly. I'm more into like I don't know, like FBI and like kind of like
CSI.
the catching the criminals and stuff like that. Maybe not the criminal side,
Do you have a guilty pleasure?
Man, I love sweets, dude. Love sweets. It's like I feel like I have the gnarliest sweet tooth ever, and it is terrible. I'll go to the grocery store and I'll be like, man, that looks so good. And now at the grocery store, I'm like, so good. And I'll get home and the only thing I'll be thinking about is that like the donut or whatever.
So what is it? Ice cream? Is it donuts? Like if you were going to splurge, what do you have?
Man, the thing is I'm not picky. Anything that has sugar is like my addiction. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It's the worst for me after dinner. I'll eat great all day, solid dinner. And then I'm like,
you feel like you earned it. Like, I ate so good. I'm like, I earned this ice cream. But that's not how it works.
It doesn't work like that.
No.
Yeah, not if you want abs.
Yeah.
Not if you're a professional athlete. What about hobbies outside of riding, racing, and training? I mean, you said fishing. Is there anything else you like to do?
So I'm a big fisherman. I grew up fishing with my dad a lot, so I love fishing. It's hard being in SoCal. Obviously, there's not great waters around here, but fishing. I love going golfing with the buddies, with the Gordons and everything. They're super fun. And my roommate Jared Hardy is into surfing, so I go surfing every once in a while. I do more drowning than I do surfing, so but I try and surf a little bit.
Like a survival swim.
Yeah, it's more of like, dude, I go out there and I paddle out and I'm good, and then I'll try and catch a wave, do a little bit of drowning, and I'll try and paddle out again. I'm like, man, my shoulders are so tired. How do they do this? Yeah.
Yeah, so, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, surfing's it's like the problem is you got to go out to the right waves with the right board and the right person to help you.
Yeah.
Because your guy probably surfs well, your roommate. So he's just like, yeah, no, dude, come on, I'll see you out there. And you're like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'll be in here drowning. Yeah. If you could go out and have dinner with anybody or a beer, drink, whatever, anybody, living or dead, who would it be?
I don't know. Maybe like, I don't know. The guys in the 450 class are cool. Like Ken Roxon. I think Ken Roxon is so cool.
Yeah?
I would love to go to dinner with him, or I don't know, just even be friends with Kenny would be cool. He's just a cool guy, you know? I don't know.
I feel like you're setting the bar a little low, but okay.
I don't know. I just think the dirt bike dudes are cool. I don't know about anybody else. I don't know. Maybe like.
No, I mean, dude, if that's your answer,
that's
look.
my guy. Yeah.
That's cool. And you know what's funny? You could probably make that happen.
Yeah, one of these days will happen.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, tell me a little bit. Kind of just want to talk about Toyota Redlands because we're working with them with the show. I got to meet Paul briefly, but we've talked a lot on the phone, and I've known Myron for a long time.
Yeah.
The team is great, but specifically Toyota Redlands, I don't know if people know this, he owns part of the team.
Yeah.
And this guy is like a law enforcement officer on his off time, or he's got so many balls in the air, and he's such a cool guy, does such a great job with the team and everything else, and the dealership. Tell me about that kind of partnership and what that's been like for you. I mean, you said you picked up a new truck.
Yeah.
I've got the Tundra. It's insane.
Yeah.
Nicest truck I've ever owned by far.
Yeah, I feel like I'm driving a spaceship now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I love Paul. He's super awesome. Even Corey. They're just a good duo, and I love hanging out with them, and they're honestly just fun to hang out with. Paul's super cool. I love how when you first meet him, like, he's a little bit intimidating because he's like very straightforward. I feel like, he says
he's a cop.
He says what he means, and that's just how it is. And I kind of appreciate that. Like, you're not beating around the bush or anything. Yeah. Like, you know what he's thinking, which is nice. And no, he's super cool. He's one of the biggest reasons I'm on the team, and I just really appreciate them and everything they do. And I mean, he's doing so much. It's like, I'll be like, Corey, how come Paul's not coming? He's like, oh, he's got to work today. I'm like, where's he working? He's like, oh, he works. He's a detective, but he just does a detective just to help. Like, he's not getting paid or anything. So he's just a detective just to like help. And then he runs the dealership, and the dealership, even the dealership is like, I talked to the sales rep, and he was like, yeah, this is the nicest dealership.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
He's like, this is the nicest dealership, not just like, oh, it has like nice floors or whatever, but like just that's the dealership I guess you want to go to if you're working in a dealership. If you're a sales rep or a mechanic, everything, that's like
that's the spot.
That's the spot, I guess. And he's like, this is the nicest Toyota dealership ever, or I don't want to say ever, but in SoCal, obviously. And yeah, he's a super good dude, and I feel like everything he does, he tries to do at the highest level, which is awesome. And yeah, he's doing a lot.
So I'll tell you the first time I met him, because we had been talking on the phone and emails, texts and stuff, but I never met him. I didn't know what he looked like.
Yeah.
So I went to Washougal, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go over and meet Paul. And so I walk up to the team, and I'm kind of looking around, looking for someone I knew. And there's a guy standing right there at the fence, or at the team edge. And I'm like standing there, and I'm looking around, and I said, hey, I'm looking for Paul. And like I kind of brain farted on his last name. And he's like, oh, yeah, who are you looking for? And I'm like, Paul, couldn't think of his last name. I'm like, he's with Toyota of Redlands, and he's like looking at me, kind of smiling, and he knew me, he knew what I looked like, so it was him. I'm asking him where he was. I felt like such an idiot, but we had a good laugh. But he's a great dude.
No, yeah, he is,
and so stoked to have them sponsor this and our Whiskey Throttle show. So anyway, if you guys need a vehicle, get over to Toyota of Redlands. Awesome deals and amazing place. So. Dude, thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
I'm excited to see what you got in 26. I think it's going to be a good year for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So what would be your goals? What would you be happy with at the end of 26 if we sit down next year at this time?
26, I want to have a top 5 in Supercross, and I want to have a top 5 in outdoors. Those are the goals.
Okay.
And I sat down with my trainer. I just talked to on Sunday, and we were like, hey, what are the goals for 26? And we were both like top 5. I don't see why not. We already got a top 10 in rookie year. It feels it's going to be hard, but it doesn't feel crazy, it doesn't feel out of reach. It feels realistic. So I want to be in the top 5. I want to have good results, and the biggest thing we talked about is just being consistent, like being there every week and not taking any shortcuts and doing it, Well,
I think one of the things about you that I noticed this year, you're very, like you said, you're not erratic, you're not on the edge.
Yeah.
And you made every round. Like that in itself is a feat. It's hard to stay healthy, you know, and I think that's a really good sign. And I think you're selling yourself a little bit short, dude. You got 7th in a Moto Outdoors. That's East and West combined.
Yeah.
So I think a podium, dude, the right night, good start. I think you can get a podium in Supercross.
Yeah, it doesn't feel too far-fetched. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how we're feeling. Obviously, if the stars align, we're going to go for the podium. And I'm just going to give it my all, give it 100%, and see where it takes me. I'm not top 5 is the goal. I mean, a podium would be nice, but, I mean, I'd be stoked with a top 5. So,
all right, well, we'll be rooting for you. Thank you so much for taking the time. Guys, please support our sponsors of this show, Rockwell Sunglasses and Goggles, Arc Levers, Toyota of Redlands, of course, Rockform, Hilo Concepts, and Pro Circuit. Thanks for watching. Stick around. Always, we got one of these coming every week. Big thank you to Parker Ross for coming in today. We'll see you guys next time. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos, comment what you thought, and share it with your friends.